don't want to be on camera or whatever for some reason, go ahead and feel free to click off, but we want to see your faces. So if you're good with that, that's great. If we could just do a real quick round so that Cindy and Tyler know who's on the call, name and agency. And then for their purposes, let's talk about if you are new this year to Colorado Gives Day or how many years you have done it, if you know. Liz, would you like to, oh, and let me just say, the Crisis Center has participated in Gives Day, I think since the beginning. I'm not really sure, but for a lot of years. Liz, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Liz Cutt. I'm with Wellspring Community. I joined the team right before Colorado Gives last year, so it felt like a wild get everything out scenario. So I'm very much looking forward to planning ahead this year.
Excellent. Thank you. Jenny, how about you?
Hi, I'm brand new to this call. I'm Jenny Talcott. I'm the Director of Development for Alternatives Pregnancy Center. I was formerly at MOPS International, so Colorado Gives Day is not new, but it's my first time in this role with this organization.
Well, I want to real quick say welcome to Jenny. Holly and I are good friends, and you have big shoes to fill, but I know that you are going to do amazing there. So welcome to Alternatives and welcome to Douglas County Gives.
Thank you.
Jerry.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can.
Jerry Van Leuven with the Aspen Effect, and we are just joining Colorado Gives. We're that new, so I'm excited to be on this call.
Awesome. I think you'll learn a lot, Jerry, and there's a lot of us that can help with resources if you need it for you.
Thank you.
Jack.
Good morning, everyone. I am Jack with Advocates for Children, CASA, and we have been on Colorado Gives Day for a very, very long time.
Excellent. Thank you. Suzanne, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Suzanne Opp. I'm president of the board of directors at Promise Ranch. We are a Castle Rock organization. We've been with Colorado Gives for many years as well. But this is our second year in our new location, or our second Colorado Gives Day in our new location. So we're just looking forward to what's going to happen this year. We've had very successful campaigns in the past few years. So awesome. Thank you. In no small part related to these conversations. So I can attest that they're very helpful.
Thanks, Suzanne. I appreciate you saying that. Shannon, would you like to introduce yourself?
Havocost, and I'm the marketing and communications manager at the Highlands Ranch Community Association and overseeing the cultural affairs for Colorado Gives. I'm new to this position and also new to Colorado Gives, so just trying to understand all of it. And so the HRCAA is not new to Colorado Gives, it's participated, but I've never run a campaign or for this organization.
Awesome. Well, also big shoes to fill with Sarah Walla leaving. But welcome to this call. Welcome to this group. And again, lots of resources on this group. So ask a lot of questions. This is a great time for you newbies to be on this call because I'm super excited that we'll be talking with Cindy and Tyler here momentarily. Justin or Mike, would you both like to introduce yourselves and give us a very quick DCCF update, please?
I'll go ahead and jump in first if you'd like. Justin knows that I like to chit chat a lot longer, but if he's behind me, then I'll do it quicker so he can have his time too. So I'm Mike Wade. I'm the executive director of the Douglas County Community Foundation. Welcome everybody. It's exciting to have you on here. I do not have my video feed turned on because I'm on my big fancy computer upstairs that does not have a camera because we have just closed our third quarter granting period, and I am feverishly processing applications for our committee to review. So for those of you who don't know, we've recently undergone a transition as well this last year, and we've changed how we do our community grants to our nonprofit partners like you guys. We are now on a quarterly granting cycle. So that means there's more opportunity for you guys to have funds for your organizations and your projects. If you have not done so yet, please go to our website at dccf.org, go to the nonprofit tab and sign up for our nonprofit portal because that's where all the goodies are going to live. That's where all the applications and that's where all the information lives. We will be processing and awarding our Q3 grants this month. And this will be the first time in the history of our organization we are actually granting out $100,000 this month in our various grants. And so this year, the way it works is 80% of our grants go to our focus, which this year is mental health, and 20% are general grants. So we want everyone to make sure that they log in and apply where appropriate. And if you qualify under both sides, you're allowed to apply with both sides. In addition to that, real big news, signed yesterday, we have a signed agreement with Douglas County. Douglas County Community Foundation will now, for the next 3 years, be the organization that is handling the Philip S. Miller grant funds from the county. So those will be going through us. Will be a yearly grant similar to what it has been in the past. A few little different changes, but you'll still be able to apply through our portal to make it easier and convenient for you guys. And that is between $200,000 and $300,000 worth of grants every year. So it's a good opportunity. It's a big deal for our nonprofit community. And then I'm not going to steal Amy's thunder because we've got some really cool big announcements coming up as well this year for DC Gives and our portion of Colorado Gives Day. And outside of that, if you guys ever have any questions, I'm always available, mike@dccf.org, or you can call or text me anytime. If you've gotten my emails, my cell phone's on there, but if not, it's 303-601-8780. I see a few of you look down and start feverishly writing that down. But anytime, I'm always available to help answer questions or help in any way I can. So with that, I'll throw it over to Justin.
This will be quick because I don't want to steal anybody else's thunder, and now I can't steal Mike's. Thank you for covering all of that, Mike. My name is Justin Vaughn. I'm chair of the Douglas County Community Foundation, and just thrilled to be a part of everything Mike just described for you and everything Amy is about to describe, and excited for what's coming up in the next few months.
Thanks, Justin. Laura, real quick, I saw you hop on. Would you like to just introduce yourself and let the group know where you are from and what agency you're with, and if you are new to Colorado Gives Day? Laura, if you can hear me. Okay, we'll circle back to Laura here in a second. Cindy and Tyler, I am so excited to introduce you guys and really thankful that you are joining us today. So if you aren't sure, today is the day that migration happened to the new platform. So they just have a little bit going on in their world. So we are super lucky that they're joining us. And I know Cindy has a slide deck to show. So she is going to screen share, and I'm going to turn it over to you two to go ahead and run the show.
All right. Yay, welcome. Welcome to Colorado Gives 365. If I can get a thumbs up, you guys can see my screen.
We can
awesome.
See it. You're good.
So this is the brand new Colorado Gives. Colorado Gives began originally back in 2007. That was the year, if anyone's paying attention, when the first iPad came out and online giving was not a thing, but we made it a thing. And here we are several years later, and we are on a new modern platform that is going to transform the way people give online in Colorado, and hopefully the amount of support that we can get you guys for connecting Colorado donors directly with you. So many of you are new, most of you are new, and some of this might be a refresher for some of the folks who've been to some of our other coffee chats, but never hurts to just do a quick rerun. So I'm going to just try to cover stuff really super fast, and then we may have a ton of questions, but that's okay. So we're going to be kind of navigating between the PowerPoint and then also the live environment. So you may notice the first thing, Colorado Gives 365. We've really are, with the launch of the new site, shifting from the attention on Gives Day once a year to the site being live and available and open 365 days a year to support nonprofits like you. And so there will be a whole lot more information coming out about what Colorado Gives 365 means for Colorado and the support that we hope we can provide all of our participating nonprofits. I thought we'd start by just kind of running through really quick, like the most exciting things that have been happening lately and ways that you can take advantage of the new site. So the first part is it's just modern layout and tools. So now you can go in and because some of you are new, you didn't have a lot of old experience, but the new experience is so much better. So updating your organization's page and adding new videos and the modern look and feel, it's just so much easier. So we're really excited about that. The fundraising options we're going to spend a little bit of time on. This new site has so many more peer-to-peer fundraising opportunities that we would love to see you all take advantage of. There's fundraisers, teams and groups, and events. And they're really super easy for people to do. But this is just when somebody wants to fundraise on your behalf. There are individual pages anyone can make. They just go in and they create a fundraiser they search for your nonprofit and they create a fundraiser because they love you. They then can share it out easily to their social platforms, to their networks really easily. As the nonprofit, you all can decide if you want to approve all of these before they go public, or if you just want to let it happen and let pages go live in real time, you can do that as well on the back end. There are team fundraising opportunities, which are really great for getting board members involved. This is just an example of schools where you can have teams competing against each other for the school. We would love to see you invite your board members to create individual pages and then group them together under a team page for Gives Day this year. It's a nice way for board members to be able to meet their financial commitments or fundraise on your behalf in a new way. And then there's event fundraising. So this is also a new tool that wasn't available before, but if you have a Douglas County Gives Day or a special event that's happening in your community and you want to raise money for a designated amount of time, you can now do so using the event fundraising. And group giving. I'm going to skip over this because I'm going to talk about more about this in just a minute. So new templates that you can make, the matching and the metrics and leaderboards are all new functions of the site that as you begin to get in there and start exploring, you'll be able to see how they work. And again, everything is in a user-friendly interface. There are new multiple donation widgets that you guys can have. So when you get in there, you can customize your donation buttons. You can have as many donation buttons as you want. You can have them in many different languages. You can brand them, and then you can embed them on your organization's homepage as well. There's also this widget that you can build out on your Colorado Gives page, and then you just copy the embed code and put it on your page. So people don't even have to go to Colorado Gives to process donations through Colorado Gives. So that's a really cool new thing that we didn't have before. The donation form is customizable. As you get in there, you'll see that you can change your amounts, you can add descriptions. So the donation form is really, really cool. You can also add up to 2 customizable questions. So if there is donor information that you want to collect that isn't automatically being collected, you can customize questions there. A little bit more, so you have the donation buttons, you have the widgets, and then the customized donation form. So lots of ways to kind of create that unique shopping cart experience that your organization wants to offer your donors. The custom thank you message. This is something I would encourage you all to go onto your page and just look at, because you can embed a video from your executive director, from a board member, you can add photos, and you can just customize that message. So every time a donor gives to you, they're hearing directly from you with that custom thank you message. The donor management tools, this is really cool. So if you ever tried to do reporting in the old system, it was really difficult to get data. You had to download the data and you had to do the manual manipulation in Excel. Now you have this dashboard that'll show you the number of donations, how many unique donors, the amount raised, donor retention. So we have a special donor data coffee chat coming up. I think it's the October coffee chat. So if you want to learn more about how to use the reporting tools and steward your donors using that data, you can keep an eye out and register for that coffee chat. We send the invites out in the newsletters, but it's also in your, when you log into your Colorado Gives page, you'll see the fly out events that you can register directly there as well. And then we have a give again functionality. So this is a really cool way to invite your donors to give again or to support the causes that they care about. So that is something new and different. Again, the advanced reporting features and the filters, and this improved social media integration. So it's really easy now for people to just click and share your page out to their own personal platforms. I know that was really fast because I'm going to run through everything quickly so we have time to just chat. The processing fee. This is a question lots of people get and they want to know a whole bunch about. So I'm going to try to explain it in the simplest way. The fee is 3.99%. So it automatically defaults to inviting the donor to cover the fee. And when the donor chooses to cover the fee, they'll add 3.99% on top of their donation. So if they give you $20, they're going to pay $20 plus 3.99%. If the donor says, no, thank you, I don't want to cover the fee, then only the 2.05% is withheld from their donation. And that's just to cover the credit card processing fees so that all the money that we can get to you is going straight to you. This is one of the lowest fees you'll find out there with any online giving platform, and it's one of the biggest advantages for being on Colorado Gives and processing donations through the Colorado Gives platform. This 1.94% that is collected when the donor chooses to cover it is just going so we can continue to reinvest in the platform and keep adding integrations and making it worthwhile and helpful for you all. So for instance, it's not live yet because we just turned on the site today, but by Colorado Gives Day, you'll have additional payment options like PayPal and Venmo. That's an example of some of the continued improvements that we'll be able to make with this platform maintenance fee that will just continue to support those efforts. I'm going to stop on the fees really quickly and see if anyone has questions because this part can be really confusing. Anyone have questions about the fees? Okay. So because we have some bargaining power with over 3,000 nonprofits on Colorado Gives, we were able to negotiate some special extra things from Mighty Cause that you can't get from them if you were to just go directly to them. One of them is an a la carte option for $19 a month, and it's a custom embeddable form. So you saw the widget that you can just put on your website. If you wanted to have your entire form on there with extra questions and all of that, you can do so for that $19 a month. And the advantage there is that donors can just stay on your website. They don't have to go to Colorado Gives to find you to give. So that's an option. It's none of these a la carte or the advanced features are required. They're just specially negotiated stuff. So here's an example of that form again. So if you want to just enable the donations on your website and just always send people to your homepage, and donations that are made that way through your website during November 1st to December 6th for Gives Day will also count towards the incentive fund and that extra money that you can get for Colorado Gives Day. And you also get to take advantage of the low rates, that low processing fees. The advanced features, if you were to go to Mighty Cause just outside of Colorado Gives and sign up for their platform and their advanced features, you'd be paying $99 a month. We did negotiate down to $69, which is a huge savings. What that savings will get you then are all of those advanced features. So you get more CRM capabilities, you get the embeddable forms automatically. You also can take advantage of text to give and digital marketing and email information. And then one of the coolest things that our nonprofits are excited about is if you're using Salesforce or MailChimp or Slack, Google Analytics, you can now integrate through with those other platforms. So if you have a really robust CRM on Salesforce, for example, now you can connect it, and all of that reporting and data is now integrated, which is one of the things everybody loves. If you use MailChimp, for instance, you can now integrate your email and your donor relations and everything right into the one system. So here's some extra opportunities, which are kind of cool if you're interested in those advanced features. And again, that's just $69 a month. Everything else that we've talked about so far is just free. So you don't have to take advantage of any of these other things if you don't want to. What should you be doing now? Log in and review your site. I would update your polish your copy. Make this the perfect time to add some fresh photos, some fresh videos. Linking videos from your YouTube channel is easier than ever. So that's what I would be spending my time in September and October working on. We're going to go visit the toolkits now, and I'm going to invite Tyler to share his screen, or Tyler, I can also share my screen, and then we can navigate it together.
That's
your preference.
Oh yeah, I can share my screen, and then I can all scrolly and all that. Then I'll kick it back over to you.
Awesome. So Tyler's going to walk you through the toolkits, and then when we're done with that, I'm going to share some more information about the prizes and our corporate challenge.
Sounds good. Here we go. Alrighty. Top of the morning, everybody. I have introduced myself at the beginning, but I think I didn't catch most people. But my name is Tyler over here. I'm the email and web designer. And if you ever have any questions, I'll pop my email into the chat here. And you can try to reach out to us, and we would absolutely love to help you. But yep, so each year, as you know, we have, and if you don't see my screen, let me know, and I'll make sure I adjust.
You're all good, Tyler.
Okay, fabulous. Each year, as you know, we have an updated nonprofit toolkit for everybody, and we like to provide all the stepping stones you need for making a successful campaign, and we're still going to take it up a notch this year too. So you're going to have even more resources this year and more inspo to launch your campaign and have a successful one, especially on the new site. So you can find them on the new site, or the links to it rather, under your nonprofit section. And easy way to get to that is by going to your for nonprofits in the footer here, or within the web pages. You'll see many for nonprofits around the web page, but we have a nonprofit page for you. And it'll be under our Colorado Gives Day toolkit. So that's one way to get to it from coloradogives.org, or you can just get to it from communityfirstfoundation.org/Colorado Gives Day toolkit. And I'll pop that into the chat here just so you can have the link on hand. Yeah, so we have first within the toolkit, we like to always have a calendar for you, step by step, kind of give you an idea of where we're at in the month. And I'm going to swap this out today for September because you can believe it, we're already in September. But you can download that and follow along. We have all of our style information. The main Colorado Gives colors for this year, which stand by for next year, 2023, we'll have some updated branding for you there. But this year, we're still sticking with that orange and the green, and then that logo that we all know, the Colorado Gives Day with the first bank. We have it in the stacked horizontal. You can download that for your print or digital use. This year, you'll see some new stuff for email and social messaging, as well as some deployment tips and tricks. We are providing kind of some suggestions for timing and click-throughs and email structure and things like that. And you can always take a look at our most recent toolkit copy chats as well. We had some great conversation around how we would recommend kind of going about that. I've been through my background here as I have been on your side for several years and operating our nonprofit. I worked with PBS for a good while and operated their Colorado Gives campaigns for several years. So I am with you on knowing how do you get a handle on it? What's the best time to start doing it? And how do you talk to your departments and everything? So we've kind of all encapsulated that within our toolkit copy chats this year. You can revisit those on your organization navigation pages when you log in. And then, as you know, later on down on the page, you have all of your images that you're used to, the social images, GIFs, buttons, GIFs. Sometimes you pronounce it GIFs, GIFs. I know there's a debate. Button images, backgrounds, and which are super sweet. You can have those for talking to your board, amping up your team, even talking to your donors if you have any like webinars and things like that. Something snazzy, you can pick something from your region. And then we have those elements. So you can just, these are super easy to get over to, I mean, for you to either use to create your web assets, your email assets, digital assets, print assets, or to get them over to a graphic designer if you happen to have one, and they can just work with what we've got here and the logo and then your look to kind of build out that campaign. But yeah, super awesome. And then I'll say one last thing is we have linked at the bottom of the page as well, and on our for nonprofits page on the Colorado Gives site, our ambassador menu, which Cindy referenced earlier, but a great way to involve your board in this year's Colorado Gives campaigns, and kind of easy to digest, no pun intended, because it is like a menu, but some things that they can like pick and be directly involved in your campaigns and kind of commit to you know, supporting your nonprofits and then the nonprofits in your region. But super great. And then of course, if you do have any questions, absolutely feel free to let us know. Feel free to let me know. If you see something in there that you think that, if you see something in there or would like to see something in there that you think would be useful to nonprofits around the state, in your region, to your nonprofit even, feel free to just send us an email, because we'd love to hear what you would like to see and what you would like help with, because that's what we're here for. But awesome. Back to you, Cindy. And
awesome. Thank you, Tyler. I'm going to reshare my screen. A couple of things just to make you aware of. Prizes. So we have some different prizes this year available for nonprofits, over $100,000 worth. And I wanted to run through them, especially for the new folks, so you guys know how you can win some of these. The grand prizes, there's 3 of them. These prizes are all made possible by First Bank, who contributes the money as one of our powering partners for Colorado Gives Day. So we will give 3 different prizes, a $5,000, a $10,000, and a $15,000 prize. We awarded around the week after Gives Day, and any nonprofit who gets at least 30 donations is automatically qualified. So that's the first prize. It's pretty easy to do. Get 30 donations, you're in for the drawing. The Facebook Trivia Contest is another event that happens the week before Colorado Gives Day. It happens daily on the First Bank website or Facebook page, and we'll post trivia questions there. And every day, whoever wins the trivia question, the person gets to say, I want my money to go to this nonprofit. So here's another invitation you can share with your volunteers, with your existing donors, with your board members, with your staff. Invite them to play trivia on that day and designate you as the nonprofit. So if they get the answer correct and their name is drawn, you get that $1,000. We also give our nonprofits or our regional champions money, and this is so that they can do some local marketing. They can award the prizes in their own region. So that's something that Amy can tell you more about for the Douglas County, how that $1,000 is going to be used in your area. Early giving is a new prize this year. So we're going to give away $5,000 every week leading up to Colorado Gives Day once early giving begins. So in the past, if you've participated in Colorado Gives Day, you may have heard us talk about scheduled giving. That's new. So this year, beginning November 1st, any gift that's made for Colorado Gives Day or made on that site will count towards the incentive fund and will count towards any of these prizes. So while Colorado Gives Day is December 6th, the giving for that day opens up November 1st, and everything between November 1st and December 6th will count. So that's another fun one. Anybody that gets an early gift will be automatically entered in those drawings, and we'll announce those once a week beginning in November. Another new thing this year, we're calling Golden Ticket Power Hours. So we will be announcing when those power hours are soon, but 5 nonprofits will win extra $5,000. So if somebody makes a donation during a power hour to your nonprofit, we'll do a random drawing and you can win another $5,000. The newbie prize. So there's a lot of new nonprofits. That's you guys here. So you guys are automatically entered already. We'll be giving away those winners in October. So enrollment closes September 30th. We'll have all those new nonprofits and we'll begin to make those announcements. You don't have to do anything here except be live on the site. So if you're not, get your profiles up and ready. And if you are, you're automatically entered. And I hope some of you win because that would be awesome. The final area, 2 $5,000 prizes here. So if a donor or somebody creates a fundraising page for you for Colorado Gives Day, so if it gets put up between November 1st or December 6th, or you already have one that is continuing, you're automatically entered for these prizes as well. So that's pretty exciting. The other thing is, let me see if I'm still learning how to navigate the site as well. But we have our incentive fund, and we have, I think it's up to $1.4 million for our incentive fund. These are various sponsors who come forward with some extra cash. So every gift that's made to you between November 1st and December 6th gets a boost. And we award that with the disbursement after Gives Day. So the way it works is an example. If Jack's nonprofit earns 10% of the money between November 1st and December 6th, they get 10% of the incentive fund added to their contributions. So it's free money. It's exciting. It's just another way to incentivize donors to give during that November 1 to December 6th period. Okay, let me go back to the PowerPoint. Another thing that is new this year that we're pretty excited about is Delta Dental has been one of our sponsors for years, and they are doing a little bit something new this year called the Delta Dental Corporate Challenge. And this is a way for large businesses, small businesses to get involved in Colorado Gives Day. There will be a leaderboard that shows the different businesses and how they're performing, so a business can choose the nonprofit they want to support and then invite their employees to give to that nonprofit. And we're hoping, we're still working on the details, but there may be another fairly large pot of money that is an incentive for the business contribution. So look for more information coming about on that soon. And Gives Day, if you don't know when it is, it's December 6th. Another thing from the past that has been confusing that I think is better this year is we used to say in Colorado on Giving Tuesday, we schedule our gifts for Gives Day so that they would count towards that incentive fund. We don't have to do that anymore because Giving Tuesday occurs in that window of November 1 to December 6th. So it's kind of a really good double whammy. Any gifts that come into Giving Tuesday through Colorado Gives will count towards that extra pot of money from the incentive fund and those other prize money and those options too. So it's a good idea if you're going to participate or share out an invitation to give on Giving Tuesday, drive those donations through your Colorado Gives platform and it'll count towards all that extra cash. And then I'm going to stop and just let's just have a conversation and answer questions, and we'll just chat about things you want to know more about or something that's confusing or ways we can help you all with your efforts.
Cindy, this is amazing. Couple of things before we get to questions from this group. I want to just acknowledge and make sure that you guys understand how important and cool it is that those donations starting November 1st will actually count towards the incentives. Like I was doing some number crunching for the Crisis Center, and about a quarter of our donations that we consider Gives Day donations came in between November 1st and whatever the Gives Day was. So that's huge. So thank you for making that shift. That's amazing. Big picture, our goal with Douglas County Gives is to raise $2 million this year. So last year, the nonprofits that participated raised about $1.6 million and change. I think, you know, I've asterisked this a little bit because with that additional funding from November 1st through Gives Day, we're going to blow this out of the water. I have absolute confidence in that. So super exciting. I have a couple questions that others may be wondering, and then we'll open it up. Regarding the a la carte features and the advanced features, how long is that pricing for, and when does a nonprofit have to make that decision?
That's a great question. It's forever until we have to renegotiate our contract with Mighty Cause. The other really cool thing is you can turn on those features and turn them off whenever you want. So if you want to just get that extra embeddable form for, you know, fourth quarter for Gives Day, you can just pay for November and December at that $19 a month. Or you can get the advanced features for just a couple months and give it a try. All of that is easy. And I'm going to show you where you can turn it, like how you would activate it if it's something you were interested in. What we're excited about, you know, if you're one of those really big, huge nonprofits that's using Salesforce and all of the powerful Salesforce tools, it's maybe advantageous for you to get the advanced features because you can integrate your systems. If you're a small and medium one that's using some of the other online giving platforms because you don't need anything super robust, but you want some of those advanced features like CRM, then it might be worth it. And it may actually end up saving you money to pay that $69 a month as opposed to what you might be paying on your other one. But if you're interested in it, okay, I'm going to see if I can replicate how we get there. You would just go down to Contact Us, and there's a Contact Us form. You would click on that, and then where it says reason for contact, just say product interest. And then somebody from the Colorado Gives and Mighty Cause platform will just reach out to you and see what you're interested in, and you just work directly with them. Community First Foundation Colorado Gives doesn't even have to be part of the conversation. You can just handle that directly.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, well, one more question, and then I have something else I want to say. So regarding text to give on the advanced features, can you just talk through that a little bit? I know that has come up on these calls before, and I believe there's some confusion around like the carrier, like just talk to us about what that looks like on this platform.
And this is when I wish Erica was on the call because she knows it so much better than I do. I want to see if I can. Let's put down here. Okay. So the text to give, and there's an article here. If you just search that little question mark down there about it, kind of walks you through how you do it. It's all keyword based and runs through the Mighty Cause system, but any of the gifts that you receive through there, you can still track and monitor through your platform. So you would go into your back end. If you have this activated, you would add it. You can also tie it to a specific campaign. So if you're running an event or a fundraising page or a team page, you can add a keyword that you can tie it directly there. At that point, I'm just going to let this little thing play a little bit. You get your text report, but it just will send that message directly, and the user will get a link that says you've been invited to text to give. They hit reply, and it takes them directly to your campaign or to your page, and then they can just give through your giving process. So it's a simple text to give, but sometimes simple is better than super complicated.
So when you say the user will get a link, is it
so your donor will get a link?
Okay, so it's not like if we as nonprofits were pushing it out and saying text crisis to 12345, that is not how it works.
Correct. They will get a link that says Community First Foundation invites you to support, and then you just click the link and it goes to your campaign or your page.
Got it. Okay, so the link goes to the campaign page and not like, okay, that makes total sense. So we're not going through a carrier. It's not like a natural disaster type of text to give program. Got it.
It's
That's
just
super
another
clear.
way to drive donors directly to your campaign. So this might be used, say Douglas County had a really big wildfire and you guys had set up a campaign supporting a bunch of different nonprofits and you were raising money in the aftermath of this disaster. You could set up text to give, call it the Dougco wildfire, text it to your donors and they would get an invitation that takes them right to give to that campaign.
Got it. Got it. That makes it much more clear. Thank you for clarifying that
Yeah.
for me.
The other
what
thing
questions?
I wanted to add to one thing, Amy. One of the reasons we changed scheduled giving to early giving, as we looked at the giving over the past 10 years or so, we noticed that we were losing about $1 million or more every year in donations for people who scheduled a gift. And then by the time it ran on Gives Day, their credit card expiration date had changed or they had moved. That's a lot of lost donations. By processing the gift November 1st in real time when it happens, we eliminate that risk now. So we're really excited about that and hope to see some really great results this year.
Awesome. I appreciate that sort of that backstory because I've never heard that before on the calls we've been on. So that's an interesting fact. Awesome. I have some other news I want to share, but I want to open it up to you guys first. So what other questions regarding the platform or Gives Day or anything else for Cindy or Tyler?
So I've got a question that's probably not relevant for anybody else on the call, but I've got a board member that has been assigned to become a part of Colorado Gives. I don't know how much he's done, but my basic question is, what are the requirements? Like how do I become involved? How do I apply?
So is the question how does a nonprofit get on Colorado Gives, or how can a board member get involved?
So how does the nonprofit, what are the requirements? Is there like a minimal annual revenue requirement we have? Or, I mean, what are the requirements?
Okay, Tyler, help me find the enroll page. Walk me through it. Okay, here we go. So if they come into Colorado Gives Day, and then for nonprofits, enroll now, it will explain how the process goes. So the requirements are this. They need to be a 501c3. They need to be headquartered in or serving Colorado. So we do have some national and international nonprofits that are doing work all around the world, but they're headquartered in Colorado, so they're eligible. They have to be registered with the Secretary of State and be in good standing. And this is probably the biggest one that is hardest for people to kind of get. They either have to have financials, a whole year of financials with $50,000 in annual revenue or $25,000 in net assets. Or if they're one of those little guys, they just need to have 5 years of IRS status. So the criteria, the site is really intended to try to serve everybody, but really trying to support the little guys.
Okay.
And
to do
the
that,
deadline for registering?
September 30th. It opens March 1st and it ends September 30th. So there's still time now to enroll and get on Colorado Gives before Colorado Gives Day this year. I would hustle a little bit just to get on there, but you can certainly do that enrollment. We have about 600 nonprofits who are currently going through the enrollment process now, and probably 200, 250 will meet all these requirements and get on this year. But if not, we work with them to help them get ready for the next year as well. So on March 1st, they'll be ready to go. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Great question, Jerry. I think because there are some new folks on this call, that's actually probably very helpful for others as well. What other questions?
We're hoping with the new platform, we'll be able to keep enrollment up year round and not have to have like an open date and a closing date, that we'll be able to simplify the process and people can enroll anytime. That's our goal.
Cool. Other questions? All right, if you think of them, I'm going to give a couple updates, but feel free to just chime in if something else comes up. Going back for just a second to the special pricing again. sorry to harp on that. But I think it's exciting, right? There's these new features that we can potentially utilize as nonprofits. And we have a very generous donor who has offered to, I want to not get this wrong. Hold on a second. Who has offered to provide support for a year for anybody on this call, and I would potentially say anybody who's listening to this recording as well, who wants to have that $19 monthly customizable form. So if you do, if that is something you are interested in, reach out to Justin Vaughn. Justin, if you want to come off camera, I hope I said that correctly based on your email. And Justin's law office, Vaughn Law Offices, is very generously offering to do this for anybody on the call. And Justin, I hope it's okay that I say anybody listening to the recording.
Sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Absolutely, that's
excellent. So,
Justin, that is incredible. That is absolutely incredible, because what that's going to allow everybody, all these nonprofits, to just keep donors on their homepage, but take advantage of the low processing fees. That's just incredible. Thank you for your generosity.
Awesome. So we'll figure out logistics on that. Cindy, any tips just while we're chatting about this on the logistics of figuring that out, or?
I would just gather a list and then let us help you work. We can work with, because it'll be like a group of folks. We'll work with Mighty Cause just to simplify all that for you. So maybe there can just be one simple transaction or billing that we can help you guys coordinate. But that's just fabulous.
We'll figure that piece out. Justin, thank you. That's Justin, May, and Mike were multitasking a little bit during your presentation. So yeah, that is just absolutely fantastic, Justin. So thank you. What other questions do you guys have? This is the time. Cindy and Tyler are the experts. So what else before I get into some other really exciting news? Okay, again, interrupt me if something else pops into your brain.
I have one other thing. People often ask, why should we use the toolkit or the transparency frames and all of that stuff? The reason is we want, one of the biggest advantages nonprofits find from participating in Colorado Gives and Colorado Gives Day especially is that new donors discover them for the first time. It's a great new donor acquisition tool, and you want to associate your nonprofit with Gives Day. So by using those transparent images, you're connecting yourself to the event, but you're keeping your own branding and your own impact images, and you're associating yourself with it, so that that $2.5 million worth of publicity and media exposure is something you're benefiting from. So that's why we encourage people to use the toolkit, so that people know you're a part of it, and we can hopefully drive new donors to you for the first time.
Thanks, Cindy.
I've got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So based on your experience, what range of donations could a young new nonprofit expect for the first year?
That's a great question. We've seen everything under the sun, but I'll share a story from last year. So the minimum donation to give on Colorado Gives is $5. It kind of equalizes and democratizes giving and makes it affordable for anyone to support your organization. We had a nonprofit on last year who set a goal of $1,500, and they raised $8,000. They were just blown away. So it really just depends on how well you're able to take advantage of those tools. I would say if you were able to get your board, your staff, and invite some of your biggest donors to create that fundraising page for you and share it out, it's that kind of ripple effect where you really begin to get additional exposure. So if you have one board member, as an example, who creates a fundraising page, shares it to their Facebook page and their Instagram page or their Twitter page or their LinkedIn page or whatever it is, and 350 of his or her friends now see it, that's 350 potential new donors. And even if they all give $5. So it's really that exponential growth and leveraging those tools that will help you be most successful.
So it's not just the nonprofit that creates a page, it's board members, multiple people create their own pages.
Yeah, and let me show you. Let me share my screen again. I'll try to show you really quickly how easy it is. So here's the event flyout. So I'm kind of logged into the Community First Foundation's page here. And these are the announcements over here where you can like register. But if I'm just a donor,
Are you
and I
sharing your
want to,
screen?
oh, dang it, no, I was not.
Thank you.
Thank you for saying something. I come to Colorado Gives, and I want to donate. And let's just say Ascend Performing Arts is an organization I want to support. I can give. This is the page that they have set up. Or, let me, oops, sorry. This is how new the site is. I'm still learning all my navigation as well. Ways to give, and I would come down to start a fundraiser. So Jerry, what's the name of your organization? The Aspen Effect?
Yeah.
So if I was a board member, I'd come here and go personal. I'd click start a fundraiser. I just want to do it as an individual, not a team. I type in the organization. Oh, you're not live yet. So let's say I wanted to start one for I want to start one for my kids' high school. I would go build your fundraiser. And then this is now Cindy's fundraising page. I could add a picture of my kids in the choir, or the kids at homecoming. I could set a goal. I could tell a story about why it matters to me to give to this organization. And then I share it out. And that's as easy, it's just that. It's a few clicks is all it really takes. Then the way it would look on the public end, let me just show you as an example. And again, this is the, I have to log out, so it's, I'm not navigating this very well, but let me see if I can show you
So the
how they end
advantage,
up appearing on your page.
The advantage of having a person do this is just it's more personalized to that individual, and then they connect with other people other than versus just doing a nonprofit page.
Yep.
You'll still connect.
So your nonprofit page is the umbrella. Yep.
Okay.
So like
Got it.
when you look here on this is Community First Foundation's page. If I set up a fundraiser under Community First Foundation, it's going to appear like this. It'll be a little tile, and it would say Cindy's Green Mountain or Cindy's Community First Foundation fundraising page. So think of it like those PayPal or Facebook kind of campaigns, but you can do it all within here, and it all gets directed to your nonprofit page. You're the umbrella, and these little baby fundraisers live underneath you. You can approve them before they go public, or you can just say, we love our donors. They're just going to go live whenever they're ready. So that's kind of how it works.
So Jerry, we'll be talking at our November meeting. We're going to really drill down on kind of the plans and strategies around how our nonprofits can utilize these fundraising pages. We do it a lot at the Crisis Center and actually have competitions between our staff and our board, and we make it fun, and everybody has their pages, and it's all this whole rah-rah thing, but it works, right? That little competitive edge. So dig in a little bit to the site, kind of play with that, get yourself live for Gives Day first, and then we'll be talking a ton more in November. That's going to be a pure brainstorm idea sharing meeting. It's on November 3rd. So we'll be able to really dig into that. And I've got tons of resources, Jerry, I'm happy to share with you to educate your board and your staff on that piece. Yeah.
And do you mind if I cut in real quick too? So I was going to say as well that, and just in response to your question too, Jerry, it's kind of like a two-part thing that you can think of. So that piece, that fundraising page piece for the site now is a really great tool for extending your own networks and having more of an effort, right, to do that. So like kind of having your own campaign to support a larger campaign. Another way that you can involve your, to leverage your contacts and your board and everything like that is to just, you can drive folks to your main nonprofit organization page. I mean, that's a strategy in itself, just driving everybody to one page if you wanted to, but leveraging your segmentation. So looking at your donor segmentation that you have, new folks, folks who haven't renewed, folks who are just one-time donors, right, who you can actually upgrade to being a monthly donor through the site, or sustaining donors, monthly donors, who you can have use like Colorado Gives Day as an opportunity to say, hey, make a special gift of like of $500, like a big chunk on this day, you know, in the name of this day or something like that. So you can leverage your segmentation and lead. So that would be like another way to like leverage your network, I guess, in response to your question earlier on. But so there are a bunch of different ways that you can leverage your contacts, especially as a new nonprofit, to get that word out there and raise those funds.
Thanks, Tyler.
Thank you. So real quick, in the essence of the 2 minutes that we have left, I want to share with you guys, Cindy was mentioning the marketing and the branding that what did you say, Cindy, $2.6 million or something that goes into that statewide from the Community First Foundation. We are super excited in Douglas County that we have received funding from the county in the amount of $100,000 to be able to utilize, I know, right, Cindy? To be able to utilize specifically for Colorado Gives Day marketing. So very high level, that includes some local television. It certainly is going to include some social media. It's going to include a version, at least, of the giving guide that you might be familiar with from last year or several years past. That's a standalone piece that highlights all of the nonprofits. In the past, it's also been inserted into the Colorado Community Media, I think I got that right, publication that goes out to households in Douglas County right before Thanksgiving. So working on the logistics of that. That's also funding that is going to be included for collateral. So you're going to get a survey from me to kind of help determine like what we want to see for actual tangible collateral stuff. That funding is going to help support a kickoff rally. So the statewide rally is November 1st. Is that right? November 1st, virtually, which I love that you're doing it. So everybody can be involved in the whole state. I absolutely love that. Ours for Douglas County is going to be on Giving Tuesday, which is November the 29th. Location to be determined, agenda to be determined. But really utilizing that day, right, that day of giving, to ramp up Douglas County nonprofit giving and make sure that everybody is super excited going into the next 6-7 days, whatever the amount is, as we gear up for Gives Day. That money is also going to support a participation incentive. So Cindy mentioned the $1,000 that every regional champion gets from the Community First Foundation. We are going to utilize that money. I don't know what that looks like for this year. Last year, we did a drawing of $250 each for everybody that has participated in these calls. So throughout the whole calendar year, I keep track of who's involved and who's on the line. And we just did a random drawing. So probably that's what we'll do again. It really incentivizes participation in these calls and meetings. However, we have earmarked $10,000 from the funds from the county to utilize as participation incentives as well. So this is really for anybody that's looking at this recording, for those of you on the call, for any nonprofit in Douglas County that is participating in Colorado Gives Day. We will offer 20 $500 prizes. The nonprofit has to raise at least $500 on Gives Day. Keeping in mind, again, that Gives Day time frame is from November 1 to December 6th, right? So that's a month and change to raise $500. We have decided that of the $10,000 of the 20 prizes, 10 of those are going to go to new nonprofits to Colorado Gives. Jerry, looking at you, yes. In a random drawing, like this is all randomized, right? And then the other half, 10 of them, will go to existing nonprofits that have done Gives Day for a year or several years. So that's a lot that I just spewed out at you, but
I'm about to like pass out. Like that, you guys you don't know how incredible it is to have Amy and Mike and the Douglas County Community Foundation working on your behalf as a regional champion. It is phenomenal. You guys are so lucky.
Oh, I just got goosebumps. Cindy, thank you. Thank you for saying that. We really
all of our regional champions could be as awesome as you.
You're the best. I love it. You guys know, like, some of you have known me for a long time. Some of you are just now getting to know me, but Gives Day is my jam. I love it. I've been fundraising for 20 years, and grassroots, peer-to-peer fundraising I love it. Like I love it. It gets me super excited. So this is my wheelhouse, and I'm so excited to be able to lead this group at a high level, right? Representing DCCF and representing Douglas County Gives as a regional champion, but in partnership with Mike and Justin, obviously. But I'm a fundraiser. I'm a grassroots girl, and this stuff is super, super exciting. So knowing that we have $100,000 that we can throw behind this and ramp up our marketing, ramp up our messaging, ramp up our graphics, give a little bit to nonprofits too, we are all just going to, I think, see massive leaps and bounds this year. So yay.
I can't wait.
I know.
I want us to pass 55 million. 55 million last year was pretty remarkable. I'd love to see us hit 60. I'd love to see us beat North Texas. We can beat those Texans. And
Texas is like the top, right? Aren't we typically second?
They're like at 61. I think we need to, show them where it is this year.
Well, you heard it here, so no pressure, right? I want to just thank Cindy and Tyler again. Really great information. If you guys are not, please hop on the coffee chats. Make sure you get their newsletters. A lot of this, for me, because I've been inundated with this for several months, was a lot of review material. But the more we hear it, the more we're going to be comfortable with it, the more we're going to promote it out to our donors. If you know of other nonprofits that are not currently involved and they meet those thresholds, let them know. By the end of this month, it's September 1st, by the end of this month, making sure that they're registered and ready to go for Gives Day. So Justin's email is in the chat. Tyler's email is in the chat. There's some links that I'll throw into the notes. Any final words from anybody? Mike, I see you're off mute. Anything you want to add?
Am I that obvious that as soon as the unmute comes out? I just wanted to, again, thank Justin for his generosity to the nonprofit community. He is definitely not the guy that likes the accolades to be directed to him, but tough, he's going to get it right now because his leadership of the foundation board has really taken us to places that you guys are now the beneficiaries of, and his personal generosity is honestly unmatched. But from the standpoint of DCCF, I want to encourage everyone on here to not only participate in everything you just learned today, but make a concerted effort this week. And we only have 2 days left in this week, so today and tomorrow. Reach out to 5 of your nonprofit colleagues who are not participating in Colorado Gives and get them to participate. The DC Gives portion of it is massive. It's important. It is, as Amy said, it is grassroots, neighbors helping neighbors. And honestly, I've talked with dozens and dozens of local nonprofits who've said they didn't realize they could participate. And that just starts from all of us asking 5 people, hey, jump on board and let's participate. So there's no reason that we shouldn't have 100% participation of the 400 nonprofits in Douglas County.
Well said. That's a good little wrap up. Thank you. Cindy, Tyler, again, so appreciative of your time, especially today. I know your day's crazy. I'm about to go on my site and clean it up even a little bit more today, but really, really appreciate it. Any last questions? Beautiful. Mike and Justin, can I have you hang on for just a second? And everybody else, we'll see you next month. We have some marketing advertising conversation happening. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, look how quick it clears out.
I know, right? We're a few minutes over, but that's all right. When we had hour-and-a-half meetings, we were like ending super early, and now like they're going beyond the hour, but whatever. Justin, thanks. That's amazing. I hope that you were fine with the recording. I had a couple of people emailing me saying they were having issues with the link, so I wanted to just make sure that they were included in that offer as well. So super grateful. Thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Mike, I like your idea via email as I was multitasking of, I want to stop this recording.